final question. We kind of wanted to pull it back in here at the end and talk about the current product. So the product in its current form is basically kind of light on content. So what a lot of people have been enjoying are the raid challenge mode. So I'm going to write this down quick. So with Destiny's Raid Challenge mode, a lot of people are hopping in and getting big rewards for doing this section of the game right now. I think it's a great system, but there are a few simple tweaks that I think would improve it. I'll say a really easy one. Let me infuse my artifacts into other pieces of gear. Like I'm guaranteed a 320 artifact, so you could either do it so that players can just use other weapons to infuse. Because if I got 5 320 snipers, but I can't infuse them into my primaries, they're useless to me. And you only get primaries on Oryx. Mm-hmm. So it makes the Oryx encounter like the only way right now you can get your primary to 320, or maybe Iron Banner if you get insanely lucky.
Right.
So just changing the infusion mechanic a little bit, or making it so that you're not just guaranteed an artifact drop every week. Like maybe next week it's a special 320 guaranteed, or I don't know. Just we need more options for those 320 level items.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that both Diablo 3 and World of Warcraft did really well was adjusting loot tables over time to adapt to player expectations, right? Like once people were getting gear, optimizing that gear for what they do and seeing problems with how they get it, that's when the loot tables were changed to keep allowing players to get things that they needed to get, right? That's something Blizzard has done really, really well. And I think Bungie needs to do the same thing. Like you said, I have so many 320 artifacts, I don't even know what to do with them. Like I just delete them. I mean, I don't delete them. I dismantle them for marks and stuff. Yeah. But I have the one I want, and I don't need any other ones for any of my characters, and the ones that I get are totally useless, right? So instead of stacking more artifacts, like why not give me a chance at 2 helmets or 2 primaries or 2 whatever else's there are, as opposed to 1 and 1, right?
And often you get that in the challenge when you get double helmets, double chest piece, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, man, I don't need.
But just some variation would help, right? Like
I don't need any more artifacts.
Yeah, I don't need any more artifacts either. I don't think anyone needs any more artifacts.
It was a strange design choice, really. Like you're guaranteed a 320 artifact every time you do a challenge.
Well, I like that because it allows people to. It gives people a reason to want to go to the raid because hitting 320 is the goal.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, that's the thing is you don't need just one 320 piece to get to 320 though overall.
Sorry,
you need a whole bunch.
You're guaranteed a 320 artifact, but only the artifact and nothing else. So it's just kind of confusing. It's like, well, why is it the artifact every time?
Right.
Why was that decision made?
And now that people have their artifacts, like how about class items? Like how about just adding variation to the loot table, right? Like it doesn't have to be a guaranteed 320, or maybe it does for class items, but like
I think the guaranteed 320 needs to stay there personally.
No, I mean I like the guaranteed 320 because it sets up it sets aside the challenge mode from just the regular raid or the hard raid rather. Yeah. Because you can get up to 320 in the regular raid, but it's just very rare. So it's like, why do the challenge mode if you have the same chance or even if just slightly higher chances of getting something that isn't 320? Like that's not even like what's the point, right? So I agree with you there. But like if you could add variation to it or like more loot to the table so that it's not it's a surprise every time you're getting it and those surprises actually benefit your progression, that would be a massive step in making the raid more relevant as time goes on.
Yeah. There's one thing that you talk about often, and that is just changing the challenge up a little bit every week.
Yeah, it'd be great, man. Like, I don't exactly know how much flexibility you have in doing that with the mechanics that are already established, right? But Bungie's seem to be pretty clever about it so far, right? Like, I mean, so the War Priest one, like that challenge, like I didn't even know. A great example was like last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever the War Priest challenge was. We did it, and I was like, wait, aren't we supposed to do challenge mode? And they're like, that was challenge mode. And I was like, oh, well, because like most groups, if you're efficient, like are killing you in 2, like, whatever tomes, whatever they are anyway. So you never have to pass it to more than 2 people.
It's very unlikely the same tome would be lit twice. Therefore, it's very hard to get the same person with the aura or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like basically the challenge mode doesn't force you really to adjust your strategy the way the other ones do, right? The Golgoroth one does, but also kind of in a roundabout way. I don't know how you guys do it, but like ours is still the same strategy, except you do DPS on numbers 1 and 6,
Yeah.
and then 2, 3, 4, and 5 just pass it really quick back and forth just to get
Yeah.
through them.
Yeah.
And then it's just the same encounter again, right? Like,
I've heard of the 1 and 6 strategy. We just do it on 1 because it's chill. It's more of a chill experience, you know. It's a little less stressful trying to get that second DPS round on number 6, but not that much.
yeah, I mean, that's the thing is like that. The point is that ultimately the challenge on Golgoroth, I mean, it does change your tactics a little bit because suddenly people do have to pass the gaze back and forth. But that's not all that hard. And once you get that part down, you're just doing damage the same way you would normally do it to Golgoroth. The Oryx challenge does force you to do things very differently, which is really cool. And I like that a lot. But what I would want to see is that every week, like a new, or give me 3 different variations of the challenge mode and then rotate them week to week, right? Like, and you're not sure which one it is.
Yeah.
And you have to figure it out. That would be a great way to make sure, like, you know, you walk in to the raid and you're like, okay, well, it could be any 3 of these scenarios. And then you have to all kind of react accordingly to whichever scenario presents itself as fast as you can.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's interesting. Do that.
Yeah, that would definitely be fun. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below. How could you make the raid challenge mode better? Sean, thank you for joining me this week.
Thank you for having me.
Guys, if you want to review Fireteam Chat for us, check us out on iTunes. There's a review system there, and we appreciate reviews. I said review 5 times there. Also, I mentioned the Facebook group at the beginning of the show. Check them out. They're on Facebook. You type in Fireteam Chat into your search, and they should pop up easily. They are a closed group, so you will probably be in like an hour or something. It's pretty easy to get, and they're on the ball over there, and they're a great little community.
And they are pretty active.
Yeah. Also, if you want to support the show, you can go to go.ign.com/store. We have some shirts there that you can check out. If you want to get one, I have the yellow one. I really like the yellow one.
They have the cool Fireteam Chat logo on them.
Yeah, they have the logo on them. They're actually pretty sweet.
Yeah, I want one. I don't have one.
Anyway, that's it for this week. Thank you for joining us, and until next time, Guardians out.